I fell into a burning ring of fire, and it burns, burns, burns.
Surge, life's a scream.
In 1996, Coca-Cola executives were sweating bullets. Mountain Dew was absolutely destroying them in the youth market, and teenagers were treating Coke like their parents' boring beverage. Behind closed doors at Coca-Cola headquarters, panic meetings were happening daily. They needed something radical, something that would make kids forget Mountain Dew even existed. That's when a small team proposed something insane. What if they took a failed Norwegian citrus soda called Urge and transformed it into America's most extreme beverage? The Norway experiment was supposed to be a disaster. Urge had launched there in April 1996 as a test run, and marketing experts predicted it would flop within months. Instead, Norwegian teenagers went absolutely wild for it. Sales exploded so fast that stores couldn't keep it on shelves. Coca-Cola's European division was sending frantic reports back to Atlanta. They'd accidentally created liquid crack for teenagers. The formula was unlike anything in Coke's portfolio. A radioactive green color that glowed under black lights, enough citrus flavor to make your eyes water, and a carbolic acid bite that felt like drinking electricity. But here's where it gets crazy. When they brought it to America, they didn't just rebrand it, they weaponized it. The name Surge was chosen after testing hundreds of options on focus groups of teenage boys who were hopped up on sugar and skateboarding videos. The marketing team literally studied adrenaline addiction patterns to design the can. That aggressive green wasn't random. Psychologists determined it triggered the same brain response as extreme sports imagery. The texture of the logo was designed to feel like you were gripping something dangerous. The launch strategy in early 1997 was pure chaos, and that was exactly the point. Instead of traditional commercials, Coca-Cola hired stunt coordinators from action movies. The first Surge ad featured teenagers literally smashing through drywall to get to a Surge vending machine. Parents were horrified. Kids were mesmerized. Within 48 hours of the first commercial airing, stores reported teenagers asking for that insane green stuff from TV. Coca-Cola knew they'd created something special when focus group moms said they'd never let their kids drink it. That wasn't a failure. That was the entire point. The marketing campaign that followed was unlike anything the soda industry had ever attempted. Surge didn't just want to be your beverage. It wanted to be your lifestyle, your rebellion, your liquid middle finger to authority. Traditional soda commercials showed happy families and refreshment. Surge commercials looked like energy drink ads before energy drinks existed. The infamous Feed the Rush campaign featured teenagers in what looked like gladiator battles over a single can of Surge. One commercial showed kids racing through an abandoned warehouse, climbing walls, and diving through obstacles just to reach a Surge vending machine first. But the genius wasn't just in the commercials, it was in the infiltration strategy. Coca-Cola made deals to put Surge vending machines in places parents couldn't control: school cafeterias, skate parks, arcade lobbies, and bowling alleys. They specifically targeted locations where teenagers gathered without adult supervision. The vending machines themselves were designed to look like they'd been ripped from a video game, with pulsing lights and sound effects when you made a purchase. Some machines even had voice recordings that would yell "Surge" when you inserted money. The formula itself was engineered for maximum impact. With 51 milligrams of caffeine per 12 ounces, more than Mountain Dew, plus a mysterious ingredient called maltodextrin that delivered instant energy, Surge wasn't just a soda. Kids described drinking it as feeling like powering up in a video game. The carbonation was cranked so high that opening a can sounded like releasing compressed air. The citrus flavor was designed to hit every taste bud simultaneously, creating what food scientists called flavor chaos in your mouth. The underground culture that formed around Surge was immediate and intense. Within months, Kids were creating their own surge challenges, seeing who could drink the most cans without stopping. School nurses reported students showing up jittery and hyperactive, clutching empty surge cans like trophies. Parents' groups started calling it legal speed for children, which only made teenagers want it more. Coca-Cola's own internal documents, revealed years later, showed they knew exactly what they were creating. One memo described surge as controlled chaos in a can, and executives were thrilled. They'd finally created something that made Mountain Dew look like weak tea, and Generation X couldn't get enough of it.
Surge, life's a scream.
By 1998, Surge wasn't just a drink. It was a full-blown cultural phenomenon. Walk into any high school cafeteria and you'd witness the Surge economy in action. Kids were literally trading Surge cans like Pokemon cards. One bottle could get you 3 slices of pizza or someone's homework for a week. Teachers reported finding hidden Surge stashes in lockers, with some students hoarding dozens of cans like doomsday preppers. The most dedicated fans would wake up early just to hit multiple vending machines before school, creating their own supply chains. The underground Surge culture got so intense that principals started banning it from schools, but that only made it more desirable. Secret Surge chugging competitions happened behind gyms and in parking lots. The record at one Ohio high school was 17 cans in under 10 minutes. The kid ended up in the nurse's office vibrating like a tuning fork, but he became a legend. Skate parks turned into Surge shrines, with empty cans stacked like trophies on half pipes. Tony Hawk was reportedly spotted drinking Surge at the X Games, though Coca-Cola claims they never paid him. Hollywood caught on fast. Surge started appearing in teen movies, always in the hands of the rebellious character or the cool kid. MTV's Total Request Live had Surge vending machines in the background, and rumors swirled that certain bands demanded Surge in their riders. Video game tournaments became Surge-sponsored events, with winners receiving cases of the stuff along with their prizes. LAN parties were basically Surge-fueled marathons where gamers would consume ungodly amounts while fragging each other in Quake. One legendary StarCraft tournament in 1999 went through 400 cases of Surge in a single weekend. The peak insanity came during the summer of 1999 when Surge launched the Feed the Rush tour. They converted semi-trucks into mobile extreme sports arenas that traveled to beaches and festivals. Kids would compete in ridiculous challenges like human bowling and extreme cushion fighting, all while chugging Surge. Parents watched in horror as their teenagers literally fought each other for free Surge merchandise. The tour was shut down in several cities after kids got too rowdy, which only added to Surge's outlaw reputation. At its height, Surge was moving nearly $350 million worth of product annually. Coca-Cola executives were calling it their greatest youth market success ever. Then everything changed. By 2001, a new threat emerged that made Surge look like child's play. Red Bull had invaded America, and suddenly there was an actual energy drink category. Monster and Rockstar followed, offering twice the caffeine and even more extreme marketing. Surge, once the bad boy of beverages, suddenly looked tame next to drinks that came in cans the size of artillery shells. Teenagers who'd grown up on Surge graduated to these new super caffeinated options, and Coca-Cola watched their market share evaporate.
Surge. It's a fully loaded citrus soda with carbos. Feed the rush.
The health panic of the early 2000s delivered another crushing blow. Schools that had tolerated Surge's presence suddenly faced lawsuits from parents concerned about childhood obesity and caffeine addiction. The same vending machines that had been Surge's secret weapon were now being removed from schools nationwide. News reports about kids having caffeine-induced anxiety attacks always seemed to feature Surge cans in the footage. Coca-Cola tried to defend their product, but the damage was done. Internal memos later revealed that executives saw the writing on the wall by 2002. The end came with a whimper, not a bang. In late 2003, Coca-Cola quietly discontinued Surge in most markets. There was no farewell tour, no final commercial, no explanation. One day it was there, the next day the vending machines were empty. Dedicated fans drove hours between cities, hunting for remaining stock like it was buried treasure. Gas stations that still had cases were selling them for triple the price. The official corporate statement was brief and cold. The brand did not meet volume expectations. But for millions of 90s kids, it felt like Coca-Cola had murdered their childhood. What happened next was unprecedented in soft drink history. The Surge movement began as a MySpace page in 2005 and exploded into a full-scale campaign. By 2011, their Facebook page had over 200,000 members sharing memories, posting pictures of old Surge cans, and demanding its return. They organized letter-writing campaigns, created viral videos, and even pooled money for a billboard outside Coca-Cola headquarters that simply said, "Bring back Surge." The dedication was so intense that marketing experts studied it as an example of brand loyalty gone supernova. The movement paid off in 2014 when Coca-Cola shocked everyone by announcing Surge's return, exclusively on Amazon. The site literally crashed within minutes as hundreds of thousands of nostalgic millennials tried to order cases simultaneously. The initial stock sold out in under an hour, with cases immediately appearing on eBay for 10 times the retail price. Social media exploded with unboxing videos of grown adults crying over a soda they hadn't tasted in a decade. Today, Surge exists in a weird limbo. You can still find it in select gas stations and convenience stores across the Southeast, and it periodically appears on Amazon before selling out instantly. Burger King briefly brought it back to their freestyle machines, causing massive lines of 30-somethings reliving their youth. But it's not really about the soda anymore. Surge represents something deeper. The last moment before smartphones, social media, and constant connectivity. It was pure, unfiltered chaos in a can, from a time when your biggest worry was having enough quarters for the vending machine. Every few months, the Surge movement lights up again, sharing rumors of wider distribution or new flavors. Collectors pay hundreds for unopened original cans from 1997. YouTube videos of people trying Surge for the first time regularly hit millions of views. For those who lived through the Surge era, it wasn't just a drink. It was liquid rebellion. The taste of staying up all night at sleepovers, the fuel for conquering impossible video game levels. In a world of carefully curated social media personas and wellness trends, Surge represents a time when nobody cared about being healthy or responsible. We just wanted to feed the rush. And honestly, part of us still does.